Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, we're in a little bit of a hurry here. My editor Dane happens to be working locally for once, actually just about 10 miles down the road. They're getting ready to start this big production for the weekend. However, they're in a desperate need for what's called a hashtag printer stand. And what this is this is a hashtag printer that that'll shoot prints right out of the printer right here. And they needed a stand for this thing like right now. So Dane just told me about this just literally last night. So I got really busy and created this base for it and created these legs that actually screw on so we can take these legs off. And we've got it almost complete right now. But one thing is left to do, and that is to make a tray that's going to be able to support and hold the photos that come out of the printer once they come out. Otherwise, they'll just fall onto the ground. So that's the only thing left we have to do on this thing. So let's get started and finish this thing up. Oh, one other thing. We also had these logos. Hollywood Vibe is actually who's responsible for this printer, and I had my local metal supply store laser cut out these on aluminum. Their logo Vibe, and we're going to be sticking those on the side of the printer as well. So let's get started. Okay, so here we go, under the gun again, and this is something that I had to make a decision on really quick. I only had literally moments to think about how this was going to work or what I was even going to build to make this work. So I just grabbed a piece of a scrap sheet metal that I had sitting around. This is a 16 or 18 gauge. It's actually pretty thin. And so I had this idea of a catch tray, and I thought I had this pretty well figured out. This is a one-time thing. I don't really, there's either it's going to work or it's not going to work. I literally had less than an hour to put this thing together. So you see me cutting these things out, and I've got an idea, and I'm just kind of grinding down the edges right here. And this is the front part of the catch tray itself, and you can see I've got those mag tabs. Those things are pretty handy to have right there. And so what I'm doing here is I thought what I would do is initially I thought I would be able to fuse this whole thing together, but as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but if you have any kind of gap at all with metal, fusing things together just isn't going to work. And you can clearly see right there that there is a gap, and my cut wasn't perfectly straight. So I did have to add a little filler metal right here. And, which is fine. It may not be the prettiest looking thing, but it is going to get ground off and rounded off after I'm done with this anyway. And we're using the PowerTig 210 EXT right here. You guys don't see me using much of my TIG welder much. Just, I don't know why, but I've got some videos coming up pretty soon that this is going to be in. But that's what we're using, a little 16th inch filler rod. And we're just filling this in and just welding it across right here. It works out pretty good. Like I said, scrambling right here to put this together. I'm really hoping that what I'm doing here is going to work, because if it didn't, they were just going to do without it, or they weren't going to put the thing up and use it at all. So I'm just finishing up the front portion of the tray right here. This is the back portion. This is what actually is going to be hooking on to the printer itself and inside the area that I think is going to work. So I just went ahead and just filling things out right here with the TIG welder. I was really hoping to fuse everything together, but it just didn't quite work. So the filler metal, we had to get in there and get that done with the filler metal. But it worked out pretty good. Like I said, it's not the prettiest looking thing, but it is going to get ground down. And there I am with shorts. That's just a bad habit of mine. It's hot here in Southern California, so I'm always wearing shorts. I know it's not the best thing, but that's just the way it goes with me sometimes. And then I just took those welds and took a flap disc and rounded off the edges, and that worked out pretty good. Like I said, the welds weren't the prettiest looking thing, but once we got things cleaned up, it looked absolutely perfect, and there was no indication of any welding at all. So, I put the catch tray hooked inside the printer, and that was all good and everything. Now I'm trying to figure out a way to actually hold it in position. And so I just ended up cutting a couple pieces off right here, some scrap metal, and tried a couple of different things. But this is what ultimately worked. This is the idea anyway. You hook it into the front of the printer, and then this piece of metal that I've got right here, I'm going to put in behind it and weld it to the tray itself, and it's going to rest against the printer and then hold it in position. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And it looks like it's going to work pretty good. So that's the route I chose to go. And here I am again with these mag tabs again. I've got all kinds of different sizes of these things, and they come in really handy. Once I got everything adjusted, the angle that I needed, and everything just right, I just went ahead and tacked it on both sides. I didn't want to weld it out because I wanted to be sure that what I was doing was actually going to work. And so before I did that, here it is. I just put it to the test right here, just hooked it inside, and there it is. It was just perfect. That worked out just the way I was hoping for. So once that was done, the last thing to do is to go ahead and just weld that in. And now this is something that I've never done before in my videos. A lot of guys out there have these cams that they're, give you a chance to actually see the welding. I happen to have Dane and some help filming this project. He happened to be there, so ended up putting the camera inside a welding hood right here. I don't know, it's pretty cool. Captures some pretty good footage of the actual weld itself, which is pretty good. I wish I could do that all the time, but I just can't. But there it is. We finished it up, and then just grinding it smooth. And I'm telling you what, after this was done, I put a coat of paint on this thing, and the paint, as I was painting it, these guys were saying, I gotta go, I gotta go. So they actually took it, wet paint it all, and got it to where they needed to be. And here it is. I gotta say, the thing worked. Turned out pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.